Good morning, all. Good morning. Yeah, that's the energy we were looking for. So, welcome to CAHOCON and welcome to Delhi. First of all, on behalf of Governing Committee and Organizing Committee of CAHOCON, I welcome you all again. And we have a very impressive lineup for today and tomorrow. I'd like to thank you all, our speakers, who accepted our invitation for becoming a team for the promotion of healthcare quality and patient safety in India. And special thanks to our overseas speakers who have crossed oceans to share their knowledge with us. I am especially honored to welcome Professor Jaffrey, who will be speaking to us in few minutes. And we have a lot to learn from each other, and we have a common goal, that's healthcare quality and patient safety for all. Now we'll start our inauguration ceremony. I invite upon stage the dignitaries. So I'll welcome upon stage Mr. Arfi Singh, Secretary General, Quality Council of India, Dr. Harish Nandkarni, our new CEO, NABH, Dr. Girdhar Gyani, our Organizing Secretary, Dr. Alex Thomas, President, CAHO, Dr. Vijay Agarwal, Secretary General, CAHO, and Dr. C.M. Bhagat, our Organizing Secretary. So now I invite Dr. Girdhar Gyani to the dais to welcome the gathering.
Thank you very much. It is a proud moment for us today because CAHOCON, we are having Secretary General Quality Council of India to inaugurate the conclave. We also have the new CEO, Dr. Harish Nandkarni. I think you must have not seen him, many of you, and he has taken the command of NABH from 3rd of this month. If you really look back, the quality in healthcare, the serious effort in this country came in 2000 to 2001. Actually, that was a time when few centers of excellence were created in India, and they were really looking forward that why don't we spread our wings overseas? And that is where the stumbling block came, that how do they do it? Because there was a need of having international accreditation. And that is where, incidentally, the question in Parliament in 2005 led to the creation of NABH under the Quality Council of India. I think that today we have got 550 accredited hospitals which can boast the quality and patient safety of the global standards. And of course, we have a long way to go. But what I've seen now from 2001 onwards, in 87 when ISO 9000 came, it took the industry by storm. And quality by itself became the industry. I think something today I am witnessing, that seeing the success of CAHOCON, this is 3rd CAHOCON, that this also is now becoming an industry by itself, quality in healthcare. And the NABH really needs a partner. And actually, when I was leaving Quality Council of India in 2012, I just casually thought of having something called CAHO. Why? Because in the QCI, the most prominent board that time used to be NABCB. And there used to be representative of the certification body on the board of NABCB. And there was nothing of that sort in NABH. So I thought the best thing is that the stakeholders, which are the hospital, if they can have a small body which can do number one, most important of course is to give the constructive feedback to the NABH. And NABH I think has to use the CAHO and CAHOCON platform to really get the right feedback about what is happening. Because in the morning I was talking to Harish and he really mentioned that yeah, we will never get a feedback from the internal. The right feedback has to come from outside. This is the one. And second important job of CAHO is to take the hospital's member to the level 2. Because once you get accreditation, there is nothing like hand-holding. Initially you have some consultant, some trainer, but once you are accredited, you have no hand-holding. So I think that is the role CAHO has to take, and it has rightly taken that role, that how do we, and of course third and most important again I would say, to share the best practices among the accredited hospitals so that we can really promote to level 2 and level 3. So I think that is the precise role CAHO has been doing it, and I am very happy that this third conclave has got a number of scientific sessions and papers and experts which are here, and we will have absolutely absorbing next 2 days' time. And at this point of time, let me formally again welcome Dr. R.P. Singh, Secretary General, Quality Council of India, who I know, actually I am told that actually he was busy somewhere else, but he has carved out the time on the request of Dr. Alex, and he is here today with us. And Dr. Harish Natkani, let us again formally welcome him in this session. And our Secretary General Vijay, President Alex, and our Organizing Secretary Dr. Bhagat, and all of you. Thank you very much.
Good morning to all of you. I need to start with an apology. Today is actually a national holiday, and when we thought of this date, we actually made a mistake. This was not intended, so please accept our apologies, because this was not a deliberate mistake. It was just a goof up on our part, so sorry about that. And once we realized it, it was a little too late to change. Now, in the field that we work, outcomes are so very, very important. Outcomes is what quality is all about. And as I look back, it's now, CAHO started in 2012. Over the last 5 years, as a quality person, as a quality group, we need to look back and say, what have been the outcomes? Has CAHO just been another organization where you have meetings, eatings, and then go back? Or have we achieved something in the last 5 years? Have we delivered? I would venture to very humbly suggest that yes, we could have done a lot more, but I think we have done a few things considering all the constraints that we've functioned under, especially initially. I think we have got together all the accredited hospitals. There's networking between hospitals and regular meetings of stakeholders. There's learning from each other and sharing of best practices. We provide a very important function that interface with NABH, with the Quality Council, and work together to enhance quality in the country, especially in the healthcare field. More specifically, I won't go into all the details that we have done. It is there in the souvenir, but just a couple of important areas that I think we have made an impact as CAHO. One is in the area of healthcare communication. That was one of our first activities, and this movement has spread throughout the country. NABH is also included in the 4th edition. CAHO has also played a very important part in getting feedback for the 4th edition. As I said, other activities, since Jeffrey mentioned, CAHO along with NABH and the World Bank has put out a paper on accreditation. I think Rana was part of it. It's almost ready, but the World Bank has a very laborious process of screening the papers, and though we've done the work more than a year ago, we'll probably be publishing its own, and it, I think, very, very clearly shows the advantages of accreditation. And as you said, we haven't looked at patient satisfaction, but we looked at numbers which are related to patient satisfaction, and there's no doubt that accreditation does play a role in enhancing this. Now, there are many activities, but if you ask me, is there any single activity that you think CAHO has done which is significant, which has impacted the country? I would say it is the involvement in the entry-level accreditation, in the forming the guidelines, and in trying to implement this throughout the country. All of us know that the 550 hospitals that we talk about are mainly in the metros. Patients who go there have other avenues, but most of our country is in the rural areas, in the smaller hospitals, tier 2, tier 3 cities. 70 to 80% of our patients go there. And if you cannot make an impact there, then I think it's not very relevant. I'm very glad to say that we were involved with NABH in setting up these guidelines. And more important, CAHO has been in the forefront, encouraging state governments to introduce, to incentivize this, and we have had success. We worked very hard in many state governments, and they have incentivized this. And I think perhaps one of the most significant decisions in the healthcare sector, I wish Dr. Sarin was here, didn't come out of the health sector. I think is a decision of the IRDA, the Insurance Regulatory Authority, which has 33,000 hospitals all over the country in remote areas. They have, and I must acknowledge with pride that CAHO has been part of this lobbying. So 33,000 hospitals in the country will have to have entry-level accreditation in the next year or so. And I think this is what matters. You are having standardization, you're having quality at the grassroots. This will have a huge impact. Also, I think it's also important to remember that maybe 2-3 years ago, when we talked about NABH, the smaller hospitals used to stay away. They were now and said, no, this is not attainable, it's not our cup of tea. But with the introduction of entry level, we are seeing a sea change in the mindset of these smaller hospitals. They know it is something that is attainable, they know it is good for them, they know that it is ultimately good for the patient. So I think this is something that CAHO has had the privilege of working with NABH, with HPI to spread this message, and I am convinced that this will make a difference at the grassroots. However, I just need to add a note of caution here. We are talking about huge numbers. CAHO is very actively involved in training people, but we have probably trained 150, 200 trainers. I think CAHO and QCI need to work much faster. We need to scale up significantly if we are got to meet this challenge. We're talking about thousands and thousands of hospitals wanting entry level. And even now, there is, I think, a delay in the gold standard hospitals because of lack of SSS, and I request both the Secretary General and NABH to look at this to make sure that there is no impediment to this huge opportunity that we have before us. At this time, I look back on the 5 years that I've had the privilege to steer CAHO, and there are many to thank. Dr. Gyani for conceiving the concept of CAHO and supporting us. Dr. Aarti and Dr. Naveen. I remember the initial days were very difficult. The first 2 years, we had no money, no resources, and all of us who were at that time there, it was very difficult to get people to volunteer as office bearers. We had our regular jobs, and we had to do this in addition to what we were doing. I still get goosebumps when I think of the first CAHOCON. Aarti and Naveen will remember. 6 weeks before the conference, we had no money and no idea what was going to happen. But I think we put in a Herculean effort, again, led by Aarti, Naveen, and Upasna, and where is our young Amit CAHO? Was very, very coordinated everything. I'm glad to say with the support of NABL and NABH, nobody knows the trouble that went behind it. But at the end of the day, it was a successful conference, and I think from there we've gone only higher and higher, and I hope that we will go to different heights. Dr. Tupil, Seema, and Jitendra have done a great job in getting the lab part of it. There was a little starting trouble, but I think now we are on track in getting all the stakeholders on board. Last year's CAHOCON, excellent and hugely attended in Bangalore. We are grateful to Dr. Sadullah and Dr. Nagendra for that. Grateful to Dr. Bhagat and Dr. Gyani for taking on the responsibility of organizing this conference here in Delhi. On another note, I'm also happy to inform you that we recently had elections to CAHO, and there was healthy competition. We didn't have to force anybody to say, come and take this. So I think that's a good sign. Over the last 2 years, I must say that we've made much progress. We have a very young at heart, Dr. Vijay Agarwal, who joined the Secretary General. I think he has taken it to a different level. Fortunately for us at this time, Dr. Lallu Joseph, is she here? Lallu Joseph? I think Lallu, raised the level to a different level, and CAHO is where it is today because of all the efforts of all these people. And on behalf of all of you, I'm very thankful to them for their efforts. Though I also wear AHPI, that's Association of Healthcare Providers hat, I think I must put on record the support that AHPI has given CAHO. The Bangalore office of AHPI, the Delhi office of AHPI have been very freely used, our staff, and in many, many other areas, AHPI has fully supported us. And I'm sure even in this conference, many hours have been spent in the Delhi office of AHPI, and I want to place on record the huge support that AHPI has been to CAHO. At this time, I'd also like to acknowledge my hospital where I worked, the Bangalore Baptist Hospital. In the initial years, because of the freedom I had there, we were able to take things forward. And I think it's very important that I also acknowledge the support that we received from QCI. Secretary General has always been a very strong supporter of CAHO. In fact, as Dr. Gani said, there was a communication gap from our side, but Ravi made it here. Thank you, Dr. Ravi, for that coming today, and also for the support that you have been to CAHO. Also want to thank Dr. Anu Relia and Dr. Kalra and Dr. Rana of NAPH. In all our activities, we've been working together. And we look forward to working with you, Harish, as we work with NAPH and take care to the next level. The core of CAHO has always been healthcare organizations. All of you here, sitting here, are a main source of strength. And I would like to thank you on behalf of the Governing Council for being part of CAHO and also for making CAHO what it is today. It is my wish and hope that CAHO will go from strength to strength, and through you, our members, and that we will continue to endeavor to help provide affordable quality care to the common man in the country. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, sir. Now I humbly request our chief guest, Mr. R.P. Singh, the Secretary General of Quality Council of India, to formally inaugurate the conference by sharing his thoughts.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my friends on the dais. In fact, QCI and NABH has been working very hard in order to get to the masses in the healthcare sector. CAHO has been playing a major role in our journey towards excellence. And we, as well as CAHO, are attached by the umbilical cord, because unless we perform well and we have accredited hospitals, they won't have a consortium. So it is in their interest that there are more accredited hospitals in the country. And it is in our interest that we not only concentrate on the big hospitals, but also reach to the healthcare providers who in fact touch base with the most common people in the country. And that is where the accreditation for the small healthcare organizations, especially the PHCs, CSCs and district hospitals, has in fact been discussed and planned for the last almost 2 years. Although we have been a bit slow, because at that level the problems are enormous, and at that level the risks are humongous. But what we have done, what we have been able to achieve, is that we have created kind of a matrix, so to speak. Because as Alex talked about the entry-level accreditation standards, then there is a progressive level accreditation standards, and then the full standards. And therefore what we require is that somehow we can reach to the small healthcare organizations and tell them that it is in your interest to adopt the standards that will improve the quality and give confidence to your stakeholders. Everyone talks about, in such conferences, everybody talks about the monitoring part, measure part, as well as the improvement part. In my opinion, the only thing that we can do as an organization, whether it is NABH or it is QCI, is the measure part. Who will monitor? And whether if we monitor, somebody monitors and we measure, would the improvement happen? Every time we discuss with clinicians or doctors, we have to, in fact, make a lot of effort to tell them that it makes sense to get into accreditation. Because sometimes people do not understand that the entire framework of accreditation, whether it improves quality or not. And perhaps this is our basic problem, that we have not been able to show with empirical evidences that accreditation does improve quality. Across the world it does. Across the world there are a lot of very empirical evidences where the quality of care or patient safety or infection control has gone down tremendously when a system has gone through accreditation. Perhaps we need to focus on giving empirical evidences in the public domain in order to show that our accredited hospitals have, in fact, reduced the infection rate within the hospitals. They have improved the patient safety. They have also, in fact, imbibed a lot of confidence in their stakeholders that yes, this particular hospital is very good in comparison to other hospitals only because it is accredited. I've been talking to CAHO for a long time, and we have been planning on introducing a lot of programs where CAHO gets directly involved with us in order to promote the message of quality across all the almost 80,000 hospitals that exist or 100,000 laboratories that exist in the medical sector. And therefore, perhaps at the end of these 2 days, we need to sit down because we have a new CEO in NABH. Dr. Harish Nadkarni is a quality guy. He has been a consultant, so he knows where to look. And he also, being at the head of NABH, he needs to, in fact, give a speed and a scale to NABH. So we are perhaps in the best phase of our journey, that we have a very vibrant organization in CAHO. We have an excellent leader in Dr. Nadkarni, and we have an exemplary mentor in Dr. Gyani. So all these three, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, can perhaps take us a little ahead in our journey for improving the quality of healthcare in the country. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very good Friday. Alex, I know that you are here, but in fact, Alex talked to me about last evening, and he said, would you be able to come? And most of the time I don't get out of my family on a holiday, but I knew that Alex would call only when there is an emergency, and therefore I am here. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, sir. Now, a lot of effort have been put in by our Vice President, Dr. Naveen Patnaik, in the developing of conference souvenir. I invite Dr. Patnaik on the stage, and I request Dr. Harish Nadkarni to please release our souvenir, and I also request other members to please join. To keep up the pace with the technology and continuously improving our services, we have revamped our website, that's CAHOCON.in, and Dr. Vijay, our Secretary General, have put in a lot of effort to make our website more lively, informative and user-friendly. I request Dr. Vijay to please tell us more about the new features of our website.
Good morning, everyone, and my regards to everybody on the dais and off the dais. We all understand that today, to get connected to any organization, I think it is a virtual world which is going to play a huge role, and that's what we also realized for the last, I think, 6 or 8 months. We have been working on revamping our website, that is CAHO.in. We got a lot of inputs from various people as to what is to be kind of done in this website. And we are very happy to say that the website has been made at almost like international standards. And the important things that we have been able to kind of now bring into the website is going to be a number of online training programs that will be available to the member institutions and all the healthcare professionals. Especially to start with, we are starting with a 3M CAHO CSSP training program, and that training program will be available to smaller hospitals. There is a basic level training program which will be available free of cost to all the smaller hospitals and everybody, in fact. And once they pass out that, then they will be eligible for the next level, contact level program. So like that, that's a beginning of the online training programs which we are doing with with another learning platform people, LM training groups, and we hope that this will really revolutionize the way we are learning, we are making our skills much better. The other thing is that we will be having a very, I would say, very informative resource center available in the website. So right from, you see, every time, whether it is a CAHOCON 2015, 16, or now 17, a huge amount of very nice PowerPoint presentations, etc., are made by national and international people. At least all those things will be available on the website for people to kind of see, download. There are a lot of guidelines, there are a lot of national programs, national guidelines. All of that will be made available on the website. And I think in the next 48 hours, the migration to the new website is taking place. I'll request our Secretary General to kind of kindly officially announce the opening of that. If we can just go to that slide.
So, thank you very much, because this has been a long cherished dream of all of us, that we wanted to provide this facility to all of our accredited hospitals. and I'm extremely happy that you have come out with it in a superb fashion. And we would like this to be very dynamic, and it should have the entire directory of institutions, and this should also contain the voice of all of our accredited hospitals.
It has,
So that-
it has. So I'll, once after this is over in the next week, we'll come and probably showcase to you and everything and take your guidance to take it forward.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Now I invite upon dais Dr. C.M. Bhagat to propose the vote of thanks.
Thanks. Honorable Shri R.P. Singh, Secretary General, all the dignitaries present on the dais, Dr. Gyani, Chairman of the Organizing Committee, Dr. Alex, the President of CAHO, Dr. Vijay Agarwal, and Dr. Harish Nadkarni, the incoming CEO. It is indeed a privilege to propose a vote of thanks for having this session inaugurated officially and guiding us, guiding the CAHO also in future what is to be done. The suggestion by Shri R.P. Singh about focusing on spreading the message of quality to the peripheries, to the PHCs is very, very dear to me at least, and I think it is very important that we pass on the message. He mentioned 8,000 to 10,000 institutions. As a member of Indian Medical Association, we feel that the number is much, much larger. It is more than 60,000 to 70,000 small healthcare institutions, and we would like to pass on this message to all of them and to bring them in the fold of quality. That is our aim, and that is where CAHO has been working throughout, laying the foundation stone, as started by Dr. Vijay, preparing those quality assessors and promoters, and we'll be using their services to spread this message. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, the audience, for coming so early in the morning and helping us organize this event. Thanks to all of you, and thank you.
Now I request Dr. Girdhar Gyani to please present the memento to our chief guest.